Memories of Monroe. It was dark, cold, dusty, and musty down there, like the bat cave at the Omaha Zoo, dripping stalactites. My grandparents' basement in Ohio had a smell that I can taste in my memory. It was an unpleasant smell, yet comforting in its consistency. We came every third summer, and while Jean and I grew and our parents and grandparents grayed, the smell in the basement remained constant. Sometimes a waft out of nowhere triggers those memories of our summers in Ohio. Grandpa's bear hugs were always sweetened with a licorice whip. His powder puff tickled our backs after bath time before getting into jammies. The powder was perfumey and made me sneeze. It was hard to believe that this gentle giant, with the belly laugh and softness in his eyes, was the same man who cursed as loudly as the machine engines in the soup factory where he used to work. Outside, Grandpa tended fruit trees and a garden. He taught us how to mow the grass and how to grow the sweetest onions. We spent hours on the hammock strung between the two maples out back. The deep shade there was our solace from the thick humidity of the Ohio summer. Jean and I picked grapes from the arbor, put them in the plastic kiddie pool on the porch, and stomped around in bare feet making wine like our beloved Lucy. On that same porch, I taught Jean how to jump rope. My big sister's pride was the first I had felt. At night, we caught fireflies in jars and watched nature's firelights blink on and off until we were called into bed. I thought they would add sparkle to our backyard in Colorado, but the following day, the lids were always unscrewed and the fireflies gone. Grandma and Grandpa had a long, stiff, green couch in the family room, the center of our indoor family activities. Grandma taught Jean and me how to knit on that couch. Knit, purl, knit, purl. We were fascinated by her swiftness and frustrated with our awkwardness and mistakes. Around, under, and over, her smoky breath coached and encouraged us. Our first project, a scarf, looked more like a winding country road. Even tension was a skill that would take experience to master. On that same green couch, I read my first book from cover to cover. I gathered everyone in the family room, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, and Jean, for my big surprise. Eyes were upon me, waiting and wondering. I opened Green Eggs and Ham and read it aloud from cover to cover, just like I had repeatedly rehearsed it. My audience burst into applause and hugs. My mom probably cried. Jean and I slept at the top of the steep wooden stairs up in the attic, a fantasy land for us kids who lived in a suburban ranch house. It was our own space, away from the grown-ups. The slanted ceiling, nooks, and crannies became our own real-life dollhouse where we played hide-and-seek and Barbie dolls. Old books lined the shelves, and cubbies in the walls held luggage, no longer traveling, and treasures from my mom's childhood, game pieces, broken toys, pictures. While the attic was my favorite place in the house, I avoided going to the basement unless I was sent on a mission to retrieve a canned good or paper product that my grandfather had stocked and stored on the many shelves lining his workroom. Living through the Depression turned him into a hoarder of supplies. Each step down the stairs to the basement was a descent into the musty cave smell. From the beams, old glass jars hung filled and organized with different-sized nails, screws, drill bits, and other gadgets I didn't recognize. Tools lined the workplace, and a project lay unfinished on the bench. Except for the project, the workroom never changed throughout the years, and neither did that smell.